going on, everybody? It is I once again, Mr. Cinema Junkie, and I know I've been kind of lacking in the video department. It's been about, a week or so since I've posted a video. Forgive me, but this past week I have felt like complete and utter shit. I've had some ailments that I had to attend to, and I'm just now starting to feel a little more like myself. So there you go. Had a few titles that I've watched over the past week that I was going to present, but before I do that, that'll be for another video. I want to talk about my VUDU experience. I finally signed up for a VUDU account. I've been hearing about them for, years now, and there always seemed to be like an app on like my PS4 or on the DVD and Blu-ray player that I have. It's an app that's on there for VUDU, and I've never really looked into it too closely, but recently they started offering some titles that I now own, like Phantasm Ravager and things like that, and I thought, maybe I should have that on standby in case there's something I'm just not fully committed to buying, but it's something I've been curious to, and I might have missed it in the theaters. They have a lot of titles on there that I know I had caught my eye. They had caught my eye for a while, so I signed up. And unbeknownst to me, when you sign up for a new VUDU account, you get your first 3 rentals for 99 cents, regardless of what they are. Now they'll run a little speed test. You'll have this option to run a speed test to see if your internet service should be playing the movie in standard definition or in what a higher grade, which they call HDX. And luckily, mine was fast enough for HDX, so I got some really good picture, and it looks pretty damn incredible. Now, I don't have surround sound and all that, so I couldn't really tell you about how great the sound is on these, but it was really good. It was really cool. And 99 cents, how can you beat that? So I got to watch 3 movies that I had been wanting to see for a while. I missed them in the theaters, and I wasn't completely sure if I was going to get them on Blu-ray or DVD, and one of them at least I wasn't sure when it was going to be released on Blu-ray or DVD. So yeah, it was a good option. The rentals, you can get them as cheap as $2.99, as much as $6.99 depending, or you can own them, and I guess it's a download and for $14.99. But I'm all about the physical copy. I'm not too much on downloading. When I get those UV codes and stuff to download from the movie, it's like, nah, I don't want to do that. I mean, if it's there to download, that's cool, or you can just offer the code to a friend, I guess, like, hey, want a free copy of the movie? I don't know if that's legal or not, but fuck it, it's mine, I'll do what I want. So yeah, let's get that started. Today's show is brought to you by the numbers 3, 7, and the letters fuck and you. No, just kidding. I like you guys. You're all right. You're good people. What a week it's been. Politics, marches, inaugurations, and protests to said inaugurations. I'm fed up. I'm really fed up. Politics, not my bag, man. Even if I find something like interesting, I can't even share it. I can't even say, yeah, that's something I have never really considered or really thought about, and I put it out there, and it's like, look, you man. Sorry. So, stick with what I know. Movies. Sorry, got a little sidetracked there. Anyways, the first title I want to talk about is The Autopsy of Jane Doe. I saw the preview for that on YouTube, as I see many of my trailers and such. It's either that or Hulu. Hulu has a whole section of just trailers and previews and stuff, so I watched that. But Autopsy of Jane Doe, pretty damn good. Not what I was expecting. Because I had a movie that I talked about a while back called The Corpse of Anne Fritz, and that kind of came to mind when I saw the announcement for this movie. Then I saw the trailer and I said, okay, wait a minute, it's a little heavier than that. It's a little more on the supernatural side. So I thought it was like maybe a ghost picture, some kind of a ghost movie, but it wasn't that either. But it does deal on a supernatural level. It delivered the goods. It was not heavily gory. I wouldn't call it like a very gory movie. And I really don't like saying that off the bat, whether it was gory or not, because then people get the idea that that's all I really like in a movie. I hate when I tell people, like, people say, yeah, I saw a movie this weekend. I'm like, oh, what'd you see? Yeah, you wouldn't like it. There was no blood in it. What the fuck? There's not enough blood in it for me to like it. Tell me what you saw. I'll decide whether I like it or not, you son of a bitch. But anyways, the Autopsy of Jane Doe has Brian Cox in it. That's a whole other thing that I don't even want to talk about that. But he's really good. He's a great actor. I love him in so many different movies. He can take on comedic roles, dramatic roles, and he took on a horror role and did very well with it. Deals with a body that's found at a murder scene, apparently, and they find it like half buried in the basement in the cellar, and they take it over to the coroner to be autopsied, and he just starts discovering all sorts of strange things about this body. Things that don't make sense, like the wrists and the ankles are broken, but the skin around it is completely intact, no problems. The body looks very fresh, but the eyes look like someone who's been dead quite a while, like they're glazed over in gray, and they're just like kind of puzzled as to why it's in this condition. And then the weird shit starts happening. I found the whole movie very entertaining. I thought it was great. It went beyond my expectations, which I always love when a movie does that. Can't say much more about it without giving it away, and I was gonna do like a spoiler alert thing, like, and this is why, but I'm not gonna do that because I really think it should be left up to all of you to go see the movie, and you know, if I say, you know, I liked it, and I say give it a shot, believe me, I wouldn't say that lightly. I wouldn't say, you know, yeah, check it out. You know, I think you'd like it. I can't do that with just any movie. I have to really believe that you'll get something out of it. And I kind of have an idea of what like my core audience is. I make it sound like I got thousands of people watching this video. I know there's like 10, 15 of you. But the core of you, I kind of got a good feel for what you're into. So, you know, I take that into consideration. I wonder, well, will they like it? And for the most part, yeah, I have to say, yeah, you would. Ran a little long on that review, so let me get moving on. Autopsy of Jane Doe, give that one an 8. Definitely an 8. Go check it out, and if you've seen it, let me know what you thought below. If you liked it or not, don't give anything away, please. Second movie I saw, and this is one where I'm kind of like, I know I'm gonna be rocking some waters here. I saw Blair Witch. Now, I was a fan. Here's the thing. I was a fan of the Blair Witch Project. When I first read about it, my mind just went like, just wow, you know, mind blown, that whole deal. It was like, I read, you know, they went to the woods, they got lost. A year later, their footage was found. Now, you know, when you put something like that out there, it was kind of like, damn, I gotta see the footage. I gotta see what happened to these people. And that's when everybody thought it was real. And then you find out, no, it wasn't real. It was, I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. If you haven't seen the Blair Witch Project by now, chances are you probably aren't gonna watch it anyway. But yes, the Blair Witch Project, it captured my imagination, and I found it to be entertaining. I loved the way they approached the whole film. I loved what they did with what they had. The budget, minuscule. I'm talking minuscule. And then they turned around and made Matrix money on that sucker, man. It was like huge. So the marketing on that, I don't think has ever been repeated. You can't do those kind of dollars, you know. People spending millions of dollars on movies now don't see, percentage-wise, that kind of return. So I liked it, but it was one of those movies where it was like once was enough. Once you've seen it, once you've gone through it, once you got the special edition that had the backstory to it, and the backstory to the guy that was featured in it, and then you learn that none of it was real and none of it was true, it's kind of like a one-trick pony. It's kind of like no rewatch value for me. It was like, I can't wait to watch that again. No, once was enough. I liked it. I'll still recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it, and I'll still defend it against those people who hate it. But yeah, once was enough. Then came Book of Shadows. Enough said. Didn't like it at all. So then Blair Witch came along, and I saw they were kind of trying to catch lightning in a bottle once again. You could tell it was a studio film. It wasn't a documentary style film. Although it did have the shaky cam and stuff like that. That was expected. But it carries on from the first movie. There's a guy who's looking for his sister, the one who was lost in the first movie. He's going back. He sees some footage that's posted, and he goes to. He's convinced that she's there in that house that was in the middle of the woods. So he goes out there with a group of people who are trying to shoot a documentary, and another guy insists, he's the guy who loaded the video, he insists he goes along with them because he wants to find what they find, he wants to see what they see, and in the course of things, they find out that he's been setting things up, he's been kind of, he's been hoaxing them, it's an elaborate hoax on his part, but he swears that he did it to keep them interested, and swears up and down that the legend is true. Is it true? Isn't it true? Well, anybody with any insight can kind of guess where the story goes, but I'm not going to be the one to tell you. Sorry. I can only tell you whether I liked it or not. And overall, yeah, I did. There was a little bit of kind of like a time jumping thing. It's kind of like the time continuum kind of thing where I don't really get on board with that too much. I don't like having to keep up with this is happening right then. You know, it's like you're here, but I'm back here somewhere talking to you over here right now. I don't like that. It's like, stay in one spot. Shit. But overall, I liked it. And I will say that this movie does offer up something that a lot of people were complaining about in the first movie. There was a huge complaint about the first movie, and for all intents and purposes, this movie took care of that complaint. That's all I'm going to say. That, and that I give it a fair 7. It's one that I would watch again. So, there's that. I'd give it a second or third view, sure. The first Blair Witch Project, I'd probably only watch that if I was in a company of other people and they're watching that and led into Blair Witch. Like a Blair Witch party or something. I'd do that. But, yeah, the original Blair Witch Project, I don't even own it. That's why. I know I'm never going to watch it. So, but I give them both a 7 all day, every day. So maybe if they sold Blair Witch and Blair Witch Project in like a little box set without part 2, because part 2 really sucks. Yeah, then maybe I'd own it. But yeah, I liked Blair Witch a lot. I thought it was really, really cool. There was one part in there that I can't say was bad, but I have like this severe condition that gets super triggered when things like this happen. I'll just say, close spaces and me don't get along. Severely claustrophobic. I saw that movie As Above, So Below, and there's a part where the guy's going through the cave and he crawls through this little hole in the cave wall and he gets stuck and they can't pull him through. I had to leave the theater. And I got physically ill. I did. I got so shook to my core because of that. After this scene was over, I got up and I walked out, and I just got sick everywhere. Can't do that, man. It ain't cool. So there's a scene like that in this movie where she's crawling through dirt, and I see her, I'm like, come on, come on. I was like this, not because I was scared, but I knew if I looked at it, I was going to start, yeah, that's not good. But I give it a 7. Definite 7. Excuse that interruption. And now, save the best for last. I watched a movie that I had seen the preview to about 3 months ago, and every time I checked to see when it was going to be on Blu-ray or on DVD, could never get a date, could never get a release date on it. I was like, man, that sucks. And then I went to its country of origin, which I believe Korea, to see if, I went to a few different Amazons to see if anybody had it there from imported from Korea or anything like that. And yeah, for $60, I think they had it. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna pay that much for it. It was Train to Busan. I hope I pronounced that right. Busan, B-U-S-A-N. Train to Busan. It is a zombie movie. It has to do with a man who's separated from his wife. He's raising his child. The child insists that she wants to go see her mother, and she will go by herself on the train to go see her. But he's like, no, you're not going to do that. I'll take you. They get on the train and they go, and just before the train takes off, somebody jumps on board who has been infected. They're slowly dying away. And sure enough, they turn, just like any good zombie movie, and they attack one person, and that person attacks a couple of people, and they spread like wildfire. Zombies on the train as it's moving. You think snakes were bad? Try zombies. Much tighter area, not a whole lot of places to run to. And as they're traveling, they keep finding stations that they need to go to a safe spot, and then find out they can't stop there because it's been overrun. The zombies were grade A, I thought. I thought they did a superb job with that. A lot of it reminded me of World War Z, which is another movie I really like. I know some people had their complaints about it. That's fine. I liked it because there was action, there was horror, and if you get the special edition, there's a little more blood, but that's neither here nor there. I don't really care too much about that when it comes to these movies. But it did have suspense, action, but what brought it over the top, and I feel weird saying this, but what really brought Train to Busan over the top was it was emotionally charged. There were some really intense scenes that led into some very emotional scenes. Ones of loss, heartbreak, complete and utter sadness. And it was, some people probably said, that has no business in a horror movie. I'm here to tell you, brother, it made that movie so much better. Like taking 2D and turning it into 3D. It just brought so much more to it. And there was a lot of it. It seemed like a lot to me. Actually, there's 4 really heavy scenes where you're like, oh. But I had never experienced that in a zombie movie. And I've been watching zombie movies since I was 6 years old, man. So there's never been a time where I thought to myself, oh, that sucks, that person died, or oh, that's so sad, or never, ever have I done that. Even the remake of Dawn of the Dead, which had quite a few emotionally charged scenes where the girl loses her dad, and then the guy, she finds out that the guy that she's fallen in love with, he's been bit, so he can't go with them, and he doesn't think, I just want to stand here and watch the sunrise, just very solemn stuff. That never made me go, oh man, that sucks, dude, that's messed up. But Train to Busan had 4 scenes like that, one in particular where I was kind of like, damn. So yeah, it really added something to it. It added feelings that I didn't think were possible in a zombie movie. And that's what makes me very comfortable in saying that Train to Busan is a must-see, and I give it a 10. A 10. I dance around those 9s and those 8s pretty well. I very seldom give out 10s. And this one got a 10. And it has become, without a doubt, I really have to weigh them. I really have to weigh them together. But without a doubt, it has become, at very least, one of my top 3 zombie movies of all time. Top 3. Train to Busan. Check it out if you get a chance. Showing on VUDU, and they did release it on Blu-ray. Depending on what edition you can get like a deluxe edition, which I think is close to $30. You can get your basic Blu-ray edition, which I think is $17.99. Best Buy is carrying it for $17.99. And Amazon has 2 different prices, and I think Walmart has one, which is like $27 and some change. So there you have that. So there you have it, guys. Autopsy of Jane Doe. It's an 8. Supernatural thriller. Brian Cox was excellent in it. Way to go, Brian. Blair Witch. Great follow-up to the Blair Witch Project. Much, much better than Book of Shadows. Wish Book of Shadows didn't exist. Wish this was its sequel, and the only sequel it needs. Give that one a very fair 7. Train to Busan. 10 all day. Gets you in the feels. And it has like some really good scenes in it. Some really tense, suspenseful scenes. One in particular, I will say this, there's a part where they're trying to lock the doors of a train station and there's 4 guys trying to hold the doors closed while a whole crowd of zombies are trying to break through the glass, and they're trying to force the lock shut, and that just leads to like a really great scene. Yeah, so check it out if you haven't already. Big thumbs up for that movie. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. It's always appreciated. Voice is just about to go out. I don't know what's going on with my throat where I talk for too long, and I'm not talking that long. It's only been, 21 minutes. I'm already... So, I gotta start keeping a drink here or something. Throat gets too dry. Thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below. And while you're at it, check out the description below. I have a link to a channel. Great friend of mine, great guy, OG Faticus. Go check out his channel. He's jack of all trades, this guy. He can go from giving you a good recipe video to picking up Dollar Tree hauls, Pokemon cards, Star Wars cards, things of that nature. And he plays video games. He has video game videos on there, video game play videos, which I'm getting into. I'd like to try doing 1 or 2 of those because there's some pretty good demos out there I'd like to try. He inspires me, you know. So, but he's a genuine dude. He's sincere, very cool. I've known him for years. He had another channel a while back, OG Fat, and I was really sad to see that one go because I liked his vlogs. I love the things he had to say, the way he delivered them. So please check out the link below. Click on it. Go there. Show him some love. Subscribe, friend. Check out his vids. I vouch for him. Till next time, guys, this is Mr. Cinema Junkie saying adieu. I don't know why I say adieu. I can't speak French at all. I sound like my jaw's about to fall off my face. I'll say later. See you soon.